I'm going, hello, good afternoon, and welcome to another live trading session with myself, Coach Igor here at Chart Champions. We have Scott in the house. Hello, Scott. I hope you're doing well. Let's do a quick sound check. Make sure everybody in the house can hear you.
Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, and I hope you're all doing well. Let me know if you can hear me. We have a beautiful price action this morning, both the ES and the NQ losing the previous week's low, showing signs of weakness here on Russia, Ukraine tensions. Not surprised here. I think a lot of us may have seen this coming, but that being said, we have a lot in store for you today. So I wanted to give Igor a chance to open things up, get us started.
Perfect. Yes. Hello, everybody. Well, I'm currently on a short. This is just going really quick to me liking. We are completely now below, below yesterday's low. So I'm contemplating. I've been moving my stop down. So earlier, this is moving way too fast. So let me just manage this very quickly, and then we'll jump on more scalps because the market is giving us great volatility. We have just tapped the 20,400 on NQ, and I'm up about 3,000. And it was a simple back test earlier, so I'm just going to see what happens here around the 400 to the 420s, and then I'll move the stop down to this lower high. So just waiting a little bit. Let's wait a couple of minutes. It looks like he wants to push a little bit here, 400s. This is just below the RTH low from a couple of days back as well. We're into... Okay, let's just have a second there, and then I'll open up things up. I just want to see, do we lose the level? Stop above the high then at 412s. If we go back up there, then I can flatten this and book those 3K in, bring them home and talk through what we did up there. So just waiting. Can see some orders in the books there. We don't want to give too much back to the markets of what we already made here. So I'm gonna at this point just start moving this down. There you go. So broken for those 20s. Let's see if they can take 25. So I'll just do the lower high here, and we can collapse this very, very quickly now. Just waiting. I will allow it to go to 25 and then back below. So not yet. Let's have a look. So there you go. So I can use that as my stop now. If they go back above that 22, then I'm going to be out, and then I'll talk you through this trade. But before that, we can give everybody a warm welcome. Okay, just waiting. Come on, 25s. And then boom, there you go. So that's one done. Yeah, that was just a little short from way up here on the back test. So we had the little back test, got into the short, and yeah, it's been a nice run. And then I moved my stop down to this low, and this could be another lower high. But yeah, I just wanted to book that upon seeing all of the liquidity being built down there around the 20,400. So just give the market a little bit of time to find its value now, and then we can jump into some trades. But hello everybody. So yes, we have a special guest today. He's going to be joining us a little bit later, so stay tuned for that. We also have our exclusive Black Friday. So to make sure you don't miss this, it's a really good opportunity. So if you're a trader, you know, this is yeah, it's a really good sell. So head over to the website if you haven't checked it out, and do please check out this up to 30% on that yearly subscription. Yeah, what about yourself, Scott? How are you doing today? How's things on your end? How are you doing?
Things are wonderful on my end. Just getting started here, and it always bothers me a little bit whenever the price action in Asia and London is better than New York. This overnight price action has been incredible. But you know what? We'll start fresh here in about 30 minutes at the New York Open, 25 minutes, and everything's looking good. A lot of my trade plans have already played out overnight, and so now I was looking at the short from the previous day value area high. Even from the previous day high, didn't quite get there. Maybe almost got there on ES, but not quite on NQ before prices just decided to go down and down and down. And we can assume that this price action, at least on the sell side, is probably due to some a little bit of the the battle going on right now between Russia and Ukraine. Things are escalating, lots of tensions there. And unfortunately, that is one of those things that causes the markets to sell off. So I'd be really curious to know, Igor, what was your trade setup that you had on that short trade? I would love to get into that and hear more about what got you into that trade, and then what prompted you to take profits. Was it just the key level that you were in, or?
Yeah, so the profits is very much, so up 3K, you can't ever say no to that, having seen that nice expansion down. And I was preparing the stream about, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes ago, and then I saw the short trade. So it's always those nice retracements that you want to get into. So retracement, back into it, and then just I rode the whole way down. At this point here, I actually thought, they're gonna hold it, but then they failed once more, and every single little bubble down here you can see. So eaten until we got this nice rise. I thought, okay, that's it. Now we're gonna see the turnaround, but they failed again. So I moved my stop just like I did here at 25s. And look, 25s was really that high there, the lower high. So that would have been a nice trade again, but I decided to be out just because of this big liquidity. And there you go, boom. Actually, that's a nice reaction right there, because they would have taken those 25. So the market is very, very volatile right now. So it's 7 minutes past top of the hour. So let's see where they take this, because this is really volatile now. When I started with a trade, it wasn't as crazy as that. As you can see, it was just moving down ever so nicely, but making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs into those pockets of liquidity. But each and every single one got tapped until we got to the big one down here. Okay, so for me, it's very much like, if I see a big one like this, then that's time to kind of like either pretty much box in that trade as much as you can, or flatten the trade, especially if you're up 1,000, 2,000, but in this case 3K. So now you can see we rejected just in front of those 25s, came all the way back down to the 400, so just in front of it, back test that big liquidity that got eaten down there. So someone absorbed this and then just moved up. And look at that one on the break. So on the break at 25s, you then get that expansion to the upside. So this is trying to shift now, but I'm gonna wait for a good and a little bit more cleaner opportunity. I'm going to take a quick look at the ES as well, and let's take a look. So ES looks like, I mean, and my levels to the downside, just like yourself. I'll show you here my plan. So we had the 33, so sorry, 75, which we just went through. I mean, look at that. So every single one. So what about the 22 down there? So the next one will be, so we're at 50, so that was my next one. So there's 50, and then below that is 22, which is all the way down there. So we have previous month midpoint. Yeah, so it's all the way down here. Let me just show you what it is. So I think I've got the weekly here. Let's have a look. So 800 will be the untested value, and then we also have the 22 here, which is a gap fill. So you can see that currently during RTH, it's not open yet. We closed all the way at 17. And then the market is already trading down here at 5876. So we're all the way down here. So let's see if we open with that nice gap to the downside, because if we do, then that gap down there at 22 could be the next order of proceedings. If we reclaim that 900, then that would be a good sign of strength, and this could potentially be the low of the move. And just so you can follow along where price is right now, I'm just going to put the electronic trading hours, and that's what it looks like. We've gone all the way up to the kind of midpoint of the gap. So between the gap low to the gap high, we kind of tested the midpoint there at 59, call it 59. So if I just turn this off again, just to see where the market is going to open in a minute, and then we can keep an eye on that. All right, so yeah,
Sounds
all
good.
levels,
I did take a long trade quickly, just letting you know, on NQ from sort of the mean reversion that we just saw. So a retest of that overnight low at the 400 level, and I jumped in right around 422. So I'm up about 1,200 on that, and I'm looking to close it up the VWAP up at 565. So we'll see if we get up there, and I'll be trailing my stop loss with that one as well.
Brilliant, well done, good trading there. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, quite a move actually from the lows there, even on the ES from the 60s all the way up to the 77s. Right, let me take a quick look at the chat. Please do smash those likes. Always helps the channel. And we can always, Scott, will you scan the if there's any questions? Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if you're looking at XAU. You know what XAU is? XAU USD? I think that's the Australian dollar, right?
We can take a look. Yeah, we can take a look. Let's add that in.
Apparently it's pumping, so we can maybe add that into the, it's that gold spot. Yeah, so it would make sense that gold would be, Boyd, it would make sense that gold would be pumping right now as people move out of risk assets into safe haven assets like gold for something like in preparation for like a war. So yeah, that would make sense. We could take a look at it, Boyd. We will.
Yeah,
and sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
No, that's fine. I've got it up. So gold, you're saying, yeah?
That's the one. Yep.
Yeah, so gold. Let's go on a daily here. I'm gonna have to change these so we can all see it properly. Yeah, I mean, and this is so nice to see, like, you know, the structure shifting and changing. So you've got lower lows, lower highs, and this, and we'll take a look at BTC in a moment. But you know, you can see here clearly downtrend, like each day breaking previous day's low, broken, and then this trading day does not break previous day low. It stays within the range, breaks to the upside, and now we're making, you know, higher highs and higher lows. So yeah, it's nice to see that kind of shift in the structure during a daily time frame. So even though I've got the 1 hour, we can go even on a 15 minutes time frame, and you can see that the highs and the lows represents a daily trading range. So really nice to see that shift. If you can follow along, or we can just put a line and you can see, look at that. So just down, and then the moment it breaks the high, then, you know, you get that little continuation. So really nice to see those shifts. And let's take a quick look at BTC, because I know BTC is at a very nice place indeed. So this is my plan on BTC. And I mean, forever now, since like forever, we've been looking for higher, been looking for higher, been looking for higher. And currently, I mean, this market is quite strong when you compare it to, the futures. I mean, like NQ, yes, we had that nice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Call it 5 days balance range broke to the downside, and now it's making lower lows and lower highs, and that nice trade now into the previous low. So that's why it's okay to close that trade. But when you look at BTC, I mean, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days now and counting, and you're still not breaking the low. So each day, let's take a look at this. So this again represents the lows, the highs. The blue line is the high of the day, and the red line is the low. So this is the CME, but I'm going to show you this on the Coinbase pair, which is the spot exchange. And you can see here that each day, apart from the weekend data, each day has been higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, all the way up. Even this morning, we made another higher low. So we have stops above now building, because I can tell you that there's going to be quite a lot of traders that want to short this move, thinking, okay, when we drop, we're going to drop big. And it can, because we're going to have all of this to kind of like play with. So you've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like, I mean, quite a few days. So there's going to be a lot of stops done there as well. So you're kind of working with a range now that it's going to be very much the if one then two play. Yeah, still making higher highs and higher lows, seeking that 95k now next. If we do break the trend line, then yes, we can look for that 85, but I'm going to refrain from looking at the 85 until we break this line. So while we remain above it, price will want to seek that higher targets, higher prices. So that's what I'm working with BTC. And yeah, let's see if we can find a trade as well from the open to go and clean those highs again. And I'm just going to take a quick look here. So we've got the untested value and the high. We have a good range. We've just front run the previous day EQ. Let's set an alert at the value, just in case we get that nice retracement, and then we can take a long here live on stream with you all. So I like that 91. Now that we've seen this little retracement, my level was 91.075, so around down here. So we've got the alert now. Let's wait for that to come to fruition. Okay, that's that one there.
Beautiful.
Nice to see NQ with a little pullback. Did you close your trade or did you box it in?
I'm still boxing, so I've got stop just under the 5-minute low,
okay,
which is at 57.
Yeah, we come
in. And honestly, a little bit of a daily value area.
That's
low.
It, yeah.
Yeah, and a bit of resistance, but we've got 14 minutes till the New York Open. So I'm hanging tight here and just letting it run.
Nice one.
Yeah, it's really it's been a fascinating couple of weeks, because we had the election, we had some big news, we had inflation numbers, we had pretty much everything that you could ever ask for as a data trader. But now we've got a week where we don't have much data at all. We had some news come in this morning about building permits, and if you mind, I could just cover that really quick.
Yes, please.
The building permits were actually lower than forecast and lower than prior. So meaning that we were thinking the economy was moving a little faster than it is. Building permits were a little more in demand, but that is just not the case. And it's not a big miss, but it is another miss. And it is another, I guess you could say, it is another argument that could be made for a weakening economy. Just like we saw last week with the increasing inflation numbers, the core is getting hot even after a 0.75 basis rate cut on interest rates from the Federal Reserve. We've still got increasing inflation, and that is definitely not a good sign for the future of the health of the economy. So slowly deteriorating, but with that said, we are at a nice level of support here on the charts. So we're going to let the price action show us the direction today. If we continue down, we'll fade this move and make sure that we get into a nice short. However, if we stick and we make a nice low here, this could be a pivot. And remember, sometimes this news, like a news of a war or news of this or that, it can be a nice pivot and a nice catalyst on the chart. So we hope for the best over there in Ukraine. Hopefully, not too many people get hurt. And unfortunately, there's things like that happening in the world right now. And we just have to stay here, at least outside of those countries. If anyone's in those countries, we feel for you, and we're definitely sending you our best thoughts. So yeah, I just wanted to add that as well.
Yeah, no, well said. Yeah, it's always hard because there's really little we can do, isn't it? And it's just so sad, especially with people with families and stuff. It's just horrible.
Yeah, unbelievable, unbelievable.
Yeah. Just scanning the Max 7 here. So we've got Apple with that nice retracement down into the 225s, Microsoft as well. So everything seems to be on a nice little pullback. Even Nvidia. We have Google as well, kind of finding support around that 50 simple moving average. But apart from Google and Tesla is actually up nicely. But apart from these two stocks, everything else is kind of looking a little bit oversold on here, to be honest. So I'll be interested to see how the session is going to open in a few minutes. BTC higher time frame, one time framing higher on the daily, one time framing higher on the weekly, and one time framing higher on the monthly. In terms of volume, you can see here, so volume has been kind of like steady around, let's take a look. So today we have 649 mil, yesterday 2 bill, 700, 3, that's the weekend, and then back to 112. So volume has been kind of good, but you can see, so each candle here is the daily range. So you've got the arrival candle on the Tuesday the 12th, and then you've got candle number 1, number 2 makes the high, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and look at that. It's just so clean how the market has been really keeping these lows intact. So goes without saying that all of these lows, if you're a trader, you'll be moving your stop up. So as soon as it takes one, it will trigger that quick, fast move down, and you'll get that liquidation, just as we saw on the NQ and ES. So if I just show you the chart, you have kind of like this. Every time it comes down, people will go long, put the stops, long, put the stops, long, put the stops. This has to go higher, like a bear bull flag or something, and then as soon as it breaks, it goes boom really quickly. So something to notice, something to be aware of. And there's the daily. So the point of control on here is very curious. We have, let me just zoom in so you can see better. So the point of control is always at the top of the range. So this is 88, a little bit lower, and then we've got the weekend both at the top, and then Monday, Tuesday again back at the top. So every time there's a rotation lower, there's low volume, as you can see they're representing by the white like shaded area, and then the thick the gradient color towards the upper range. So value, as you can see there on the right as well with the VPVR, you can see that value is currently around 91. So from 90 to 91, so it's kind of building higher. It's kind of like represents acceptance of prices up here and no significant rejections. Be really nice to get another pullback down to that 91 200, and then boom, go take that high. And then if we fail that high, we could get a nice move down to just clean the stops all the way down to 85. That would be just nice, like really, really nice. And then here is the big question mark. If it trades down here, do we get a quick failed auction below, meaning like look below, come back inside, and then go to the upside? That would be just like really good, and then go and finish business to the upside if there's any business to be finished. But yeah, this is something to be aware of and keep an eye, because that can play out. In terms of order flow on Bybit now, let's take a look. We're down to the weekly view up and holding. Just looking at CVD here. Nothing much, but yeah, just still bullish price action. And this is just the low time frame order flow for all three markets, so NQ, BTC, and ES. So if I see a trade, we can take a trade there as well as down here. Okay, and yeah, smash those likes if you're watching. And yeah, happy to answer any questions. We have a guest to join us later, and we've got about 7 minutes for the New York session to start. So yeah.
Yeah, got some things cooking already for you all, and we have some exciting news with a little bit of a sale we've got going on. It just happens once a year. We decided to go ahead and try it again. And honestly, we're excited that you all are here and checking us out. So if you're a new member, feel free to check us out on Instagram, on Twitter. We're all on there. Mine is Scott_chart champions. Igor's is Igor_chart champions. And we're trying to post more and more and just reach out to you all more and have other ways to connect. So very excited to see you all here. And we've got just a few minutes here before New York Open. So everything's looking all right.
Yeah, I'm just scanning to see if I can potentially find a little scalp short trade here. I'm not interested in longs yet, based on the quick and fast move down we had. Yes, we did bounce from 20,400 on NQ, so that's nice. But here's the first level of support earlier that we tried to bounce and filled quite significant orders, and that happens to be the previous day RTH low. So this is a nice level potentially for a rejection, but currently we're making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and this right here is a tick chart. So this is tick by tick, and then what you see above and below, it's bids and asks, so the actual order book of the market. But yeah, we currently flirting with yesterday's initial balance low as well as low for the day.
So IB low coming into play already, not even in the New York session. That's
of
nice.
Yesterday, yes, of yesterday.
And we had a question from one of our friends on our Discord channel. Would it be weird to fill an RTH gap during London, but not during New York?
Well, if that happens,
excuse me.
If that happens, you carry over, meaning it's not done yet. So you want those things to be filled during the RTH. The best way you can do that is, and here's a tip for you all, and this is why these streams are good, because you can learn a few things even just by watching the, obviously, because YouTube is all free. So here's a tip for you all. So, and let's pick up NQ, or I mean ES, being the marker that everyone knows. So these candles here represent 8-hour session. So this is always on the 8-hour, and I've got the RTH, regular trading hours. So here is where you can really look at those gaps. So for example, we had this gap to the downside, which was up here, and that was the gap low. This was with gap being filled. We filled it. Okay. And then the next day open really significant lower, leaving a gap to the upside now. So you got two gaps. This gap here never got filled to the upside or to the downside. So we have a void between 5963 to 5944. I've got an alert there. And currently we're still below all of that. So yeah, so this is a nice tip that you can just follow the gaps. And I like to look at these charts with the bars. And the reason why I like the bars is because it just shows clean, like the open, the close, the open, the close, as well as the high and the low. And I think it's just super clean. And then these little arrows is just called a fractal indicator, and each one of them represent a pivot point, like a proper swing high and a proper swing low. So, when you see one at the high, one at the low, you kind of have to pay attention to that. You can always use the .25 tool, which is just simply splitting this range between the high and the low in 4 quadrants. So this will be the 80%. This will be 75%. This will be the 50%. This will be the 25%, and this is 0. So like you can use this tool as a risk management within the gaps and the RTH. Really, 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 really cool to see the respect on this. And if you're a champion, we can take a lot of information from this, and the market does like to respect. So just keep that chart always saved to the side, so you know exactly what's happening live in the time. And while I did that, I might as well just move one of these up and copy this. So that will be gap low. Oops, it's okay. Just delete this one. This will be actually, I'll do the other way around. So gap filled and gap low. There you go. So let's mark the one to the upside as well. Keep an eye there. And there you go. So we're basically coming all the way back inside previous week equilibrium. So let's keep an eye there. BTC is finding a little bottom down here at 92. But the low doesn't look the best. So let's see if we can still come one more time below and test. So let's take a look at the TPO chart. How long do we have? 2 minutes. Okay.
Just 2 minutes till the open. Yep.
Yeah, we have a weak low down here on BTC, but that's value. So we kind of went down to value and did a complete full run. I mean, how beautiful is that? I mean, look, BTC, so technical, like opens, comes down to value low of yesterday, and then does a quick rotation from value low all the way to value high. Wow.
It's beautiful. I mean, that's just clean price action, clean delivery. You've got to love the BTC market right now. It is honestly one of our focuses, and it's really been popping. So, yeah.
And while we've been up here, I mean, look at the open interest. So this is Bybit open interest. We are 1.15, 1.14, 16, 19, 21, 25. So open interest is really building up. This is nice. I mean, you know, if you all remember, we were stuck at 1 billion for so long on this market. It was yo-yoing around 900 to 1 bill for so long. And then as soon as we broke the 1 bill mark here, it's been steadily increasing. So that's nice to see. Open interest up and price up. That is bullish. Until obviously we trap some traders up there and then we can reverse to the other side. But until then, yeah, we trade with the bullishness. So market's opening in about 30 seconds. So good luck, everybody. Don't forget, we're already up on the day at 3K, but we'll try and find a few scalps here for you all to see. Questions are welcome, not financial advice, everything for educational purposes only. Yeah, let's have some fun.
Really quickly, if you don't mind, it sounds like I'm a bit loud, so I've turned down my mic a bit. Do you mind turning yours up? It sounds like you're a bit soft.
I'm kidding. It should be up now. Yeah, I was just
funny. All right. New York is open. Here we go.
There we go. So we are open. Okay, I'm going to move on to ES just to see down here. Okay. So we're open all the way down here. So at 85. Just want to see if we're going to come. I mean, look, the settlement is all the way up at 59.20. 59.20 is the settlement.
With the daily open there as well. Yeah, all the way up there.
So the algos and bots will be like, wow, we are bearish. So in a selling mode, but we are at this previous week equilibrium. Okay, let me just zoom out a little bit. That 86 there, going to zoom in there. So we didn't quite close yesterday's. So that would be 91. They're going to try. Let's see if they are going to leave that open. There's quite nice volume there, so it looks like they might want to go and fill that 91.
Yep, I'm looking for 560 on my long trade. That's the VWAP. To get out. I'm sure it's still trailing stop as well.
Yeah, that's a good level. 50, yeah, 60. Well, 59. 59.50 is nice.
And here, I feel like they got to kind of go because it's not moving up, and it's certainly not moving down. So it's not going anywhere yet, but there's liquidity building below, so you can tell the algos are on top of it. Well, let's see if we go up and seek that VWAP first. Come on, baby.
Yeah, it's coming up. It's coming up to it. Just don't have a trade here yet, but Scott is on a nice little long trade there. No, not little. Good.
Yep, up 2,500 on this one, and
good stuff.
I'm gonna go ahead and flatten that for 2,500 and just say all good.
Keep an eye there. Gonna move this down to 1 minute. Oops. 15 minutes there on the NQ. Let's just really keep this simple with the highs and lows. There you go. So NQ actually open inside yesterday's trading range. Gonna have to change this down to 10, otherwise it's too high tick size. Let's see if they're gonna reject here. Nice rejection. Want to see at least, Yeah, I want to see at least a nice shift. Now back down into the 30 support and midpoint. That's a nice little rejection there. So yes, wants that low, still slightly higher. And the question is, will we accept below inside? So let's see if we can take another look at NQ here. Yeah, just to go and take, I mean, that's the 200 SMA 60. But I feel like ES might not be just completely finished here. So there could be a trade here on the NQ up to properly clean that high, but it's looking nice there on 1 minute. If we do take a long trade here, it would have to be a really tight stop. So I'm looking here, I'm going to put on the 30 seconds here so you can see.
Okay. ES just retesting its previous day low as well. So a little bit of resistance.
Yeah,
NQ's overshot a bit.
Not quite there yet. That's why I'm thinking, might get a little pullback there.
BTC having a little bit of a retrace here. Local SFP on BTC, a high. Down.
Okay. Just looking. I'm just keeping this chart really super clean.
Love it.
Looking at the other charts as well. So yeah, NQ still moving back inside. You can see we've got this kind of like failure above. But it would be nice to see ES just come and properly tap that VWAP 200 low of yesterday. But yeah, they're keeping that gap open. I'm looking down here, you can see. So this gap is still open. So let's see if they want to fill it. If they leave this open, then it's a little bit more bearish and we're going to go down to value and potentially those 77s down there. You can see NQ is still seeking lower. So we're still kind of like hunting. That nice sort of like first touch of the VWAP with the low of yesterday was a good trade. So if you took that, I mean, look at that, beautiful. So let's just keep an eye there. Back to this chart. Gonna just refresh this NQ.
I see some folks are asking about our Black Friday sale. I will pop that link in the chat for you all, so it'll be there fresh, ready for you.
Go down 1 minute on this chart here. Yeah, it's just failing to come back inside, even on the yes. Be nice to see if we can still push there.
Yes, now retracing a bit.
Down to 67. Let's see. Hold, go. But it would be better if you could just drop now, to be honest. If you can't feel it, like leave it open, just drop, do business lower first.
Looks like NQ is trying to hang on here with a little bit of bit support coming in around the 514 level.
Yeah. Just going to change both to 30 seconds so that we can read. Oops, not that one. This one is 8. This one here, 30. You can see the market here really trying on NQ. So that's a little bit better. Yep, that's a little bit better. Okay, let's see if ES holds here. NQ would have been a better... Okay, I'm going to take a quick scalp along here on the ES. I'm going to share my screen. Just to see if we can go up and take that gap fill there. Horrible filled up there, but, you know, nevertheless, still a trade. Yeah, because if it comes back below that 82, I feel like they're going to take it down and potentially go all the way down to those 73s. So let's see if they've got juice enough to go and tap those 91s. If they do, then that's good, and I can move my stop straight after that up to those 91s. There you go. Come on, push, push, push. At this point, I don't want them to come down. Oh, they're rejecting again. Still holding my stop loss, as you can see there on the screen. So back to 87. See if they hold 87 now for the higher low.
Yeah, we got to hold 86, 87. Yeah. That's the previous day's low. Want to see that held. Hey, it looks good for now. Let's see. We got 30 seconds for this 1 minute candle to close.
They might want to come and fill that 87, potentially touch 85s. But targets is 90 to 91 on this, just allowing a bit of risk. They came all the way down to that 82, didn't take it. There you go. So there's the 85s that we were just talking. I can see them traders there. Look, can you see they're now seeking 84, but they've taken this. So we can now put our stop just here at 80. I would say 86, because that 87 should hold if they really want to push this higher.
Agreed. So you got New York VWAP just underneath there as well. Should hold here.
There you go. I've dropped it. So at this point, it's only a $50 risk. And let's see if they push that above that 90 to 90. 90 to 91, which is the gap fill on the left here. So you can see. I'm just going to expand this. Come on. And it's just a little scalp trade. Struggling, isn't it?
Struggling a little bit here. Yep. So this is it. They either got to go here or it's going to come back down below the New York Open. So
NQ was a better trade. Yeah, it's really, really slowing.
We just did a poll as well. What's your favorite asset? And we have 80% of traders, their favorite asset is BTC, followed by NQ at 12%. So maybe we'll take a closer look at BTC here in a moment, guys. Yeah, great.
I'll try and take a trade in a minute. And look, I'll share with you all on YouTube. Actually, yeah, if you want me to show you something really cool, smash the likes. I want to see more likes. And then I'll show you something that I shared yesterday with the team there at Chat Champions. Well, the team as in, our family, our members. Come on, push. There you go. At this point, I don't want to see it come back down, and I want this to be a scratch trade, or there you go, boom. And that's it. One trade done. So smash the likes. Let's go. And I'll show you something very cool that we did yesterday. I'm just going to have to pull up my Discord. Do we have more likes?
It looks like the likes are rolling in. Smash those likes if you haven't already. We appreciate that. Helps us out.
And I'll show you something that I did yesterday, which I thought was pretty cool. Okay, so I will just move this over to the screen here. Oops, not that. Let go. There you go. Right, I'm going to go up to this screen. So focus here on Discord. So here it was just before, so around 8:30, just before power hour. Okay. And by the way, it's nice to see the price action got to our target and it's just stalling there. So look at that, really nice to see. But yeah, so yesterday around, and this is for BTC. So yesterday around power hour, I was saying, look, BTC wants higher, entertaining a power scalp long here. Okay, so and here's what happened. So we were around here. Okay. We got the pullback, and if you're a champion, you know what I'm looking for here. So you have the midpoint of the previous candle. The market's got a pull high. You can see a pull high. We open, and for me, it's very much like, hey, give me a little retracement, and I'll jump onto this long trade. Okay, so I gave plenty of notice, like pretty much 20 minutes, and then we saw the pullback. Look at that. So that was the pullback. That was me telling, okay, this is the little pullback. And then I want to see a quick push, and if not, just a 250 loss. So it was 250 loss for a quick push. We come down to target. We got in at the midpoint. There you go. And we move stop to break even or better already. And then this just runs to target. And it was very much like before, waiting for that little pullback down to the midpoint, as well as the midpoint of the previous candle. We got in there, and then we were just boxing in that trade. So boxing in, and we were just coming to that close of the market. And then we locked $800, and it was very much, let me just push this slightly that way. And we basically got in there and we collapsed there. But eventually it still went higher. But it was nice to see that trade just coming to fruition. And it's not a signal, but it was just very much like, here from me to you, here's a quick way to make a few bucks just to, pay your tuition fee. And here's an explanation. So pull high, that's the target. Bullish market, nice run. So we want to see a pullback down to the EQ. Here's the representation. That's what it looks like. Here's the entry. waiting for that. And then here's the actual entry on the DSF, which is the DOM surface. So you've got coming down to that EQ. And once we got to that EQ, look at that. We spent a few minutes there just holding, and then you do a quick look below, fail, look at the yellow here, meaning, okay, good orders coming in, and then boom, just smash out of there. I got another confluence. And there you go. So got in. And then let me just show you something else. And there you go. Boom. So from entry to target within, I would say, 10 minutes. This one, 15 minutes. And this is today. So really nice to see, the kind of like stuff that we talk about and go over there on our channel. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. If you're a champion, if you're not, well, there's a nice Black Friday deal. Join us.
Very much enjoyed, and I did close out that long trade from the ES at the VWAP, so just another $250
Brilliant.
in the bank today. And also had a question for you, and it popped up quite a few times. How would we compare the CME to the Bybit BTC? How are you looking at those two?
Right. So the question coming in is probably like, the price is different. Sorry, my phone is ringing. I'll just turn it off. So you're probably thinking, oh, but the price is different. And I had this question this morning, and it's nice to see ES actually moving higher. So should have kept that long open. But yeah, so the important thing here, sorry, I need to really stop this.
Take your time, take your time.
Yeah,
no worries.
No, it's just a call. Two calls at the same time, so very popular. But yeah, so
popular guy.
No, but what I do here is, so Bybit has got really, really good order flow. Okay, so the order flow on Bybit it's just nice, and also you get the open interest, okay, which is really good if you trade the futures. We don't get the open interest. You'd have to go and check the daily open interest at the candle close, blah blah blah. But on Bybit you actually get it like, just there, and it's good. So I like to look at Bybit for that order flow, really nice price action, as you can see here. So you've got the volume, the orders coming in, CVD, open interest, all of that stuff. And then I like to look at CME to see what the big boys are doing in terms of like weak highs, poor lows, in other words, excess. And every time, honestly, every time we have weak highs like here or poor highs like here, they typically get revisited. Okay, there's a few ticks that you have to do in here. There's better statistics on some ticks, but it is very much like the markets move around these weak highs and weak lows and poor highs and poor lows. And I like to see the ES for that, BTC for the CME for that reason. And then for the question, and how do you compare the two? It's really, really simple. I have done a lesson on it, so I'm sure it's probably easy to just look at the lesson, and it's called candle structure. So in other words, just ignore the price. So right now on the CME it's 92,800. On the Bybit is 92,300. Well, ignore the price. It's just, price, just ignore it completely. Hide it from there if you wish. Just look at the candle. So this is a 30-minute candle. Here's the open, here's the low, here's the high, here's the current close, and here's the EQ. That's it. When you go to the other market, you have exactly the same structure. Here's the low, here's the EQ, here's the open, here's the high, and here's the close. It is exactly the same thing. The price will be a little bit different, but who cares? It's not important. Where you get in, it's that structure that you're after. And I think this is such a gold nugget that a lot of people don't look at or completely ignore, but it's just the most important thing ever, period, on price action. Candle structure. Just like now, look here on ES. It's such poor highs. So if we do get a little pullback, maybe we can take another long trade, but it's getting a little bit too clean here. Look at that. Really, really clean. But yeah, let's keep looking.
Absolutely. Just getting back to a few of these questions in chat. Awesome interactions today, team. Everybody seems very interested and very excited about price action, especially on BTC. We've got a lot of BTC lovers in the house,
yeah,
and
let's
that's
find a trade. Yeah, let's find a trade on BTC. I mean, look, I'm up 3.5K on this account, but let's try and find the trade here on BTC. I mean, personally, I would love to see. Let's find it. I would love to see the high again. I mean, there you go. So the New York Open pushing higher. Let's take a look. Let's see together. We'll have to probably go down and allow a little bit of risk on this. But it's nice to see. So we're still holding. And look, this is why I love the RTH. And I'm going to delete this, and we'll do it again. And even that doesn't matter, and even the fractal. Oops, not that, this. So actually not that one, this one. So this is the RTH. So higher highs, higher lows. Even the red high candle, red or black, however you want to see it, lower. Squeezing. It is somehow forming a high here. So today is going to be really important. Like really important. Let's take a look at the daily actually. Yeah, weekly. Yeah, see, the weekly is not finished. You don't want the high of this move to finish on the candle that makes a gap. This is kind of like low probability. You want the market to break out of a good range. In other words, I mean, this is a weekly chart. 1, 2, 3. I mean, I don't want to count. But the range, the weekly candle that breaks this range high, you don't want that weekly to be the weekly that is the high on BTC. You want at least 2 weeks after that, or 1.5 weeks, you know, whatever. You want this week to be tapped. Goes without saying, we could get a pullback to the 50% of this week and it's still bullish, right? And that's 87. Remember that 85K level that we've been looking at, the nice stops. If you don't remember, I'll show it to you in a second. So this one down here. So that would be nice. So even if we come all the way to 85, that's still kind of bullish. So just keep that in mind. So back to the weekly again. So that's 87. So that would be still bullish. So I would like to see the high taken. So let's dive in. Let's keep this on the 8 hour because that's the chart here. And I'm going to move this to the left as it was. There you go. So we'll keep an eye on that one. And we'll do a trend line as well as we had them there so that I can remember. And this is just a visual representation of where is the trend. And look here, daily one time framing up. It's in the balance because it's inside. It's kind of like an inside day. You can see yesterday. So this is BTC. So let's go over the plan. So balance, weekly up, monthly up. We got a D shape there as well. Value is kind of overlapping. So we open inside, so there's no, and then here's my remark. So, you know, BTC continues to making higher highs and higher lows above 90K, so bullish. Stops are building above, and obviously down at, you know, 89,700, we have that nice weak close. So we could see that, but I would prefer the high first. So with that in mind, you know, I think it's fair to say that longs have priority. So let's go down to a 1 minute and find a long trade here. We'd have to come back down to settlement. Okay, yes, it's having a little retracement. That's good.
Yep. Yes, and NQ both pulling back a little bit here on a middle of a session.
We have the both VWAP, so VWAP, and this is the 200 SMA and the 50 SMA. So that's nice to see. That it's nice resistance.
A lot of little jam area right there, right at the 20,560. Yep. Same on ES actually, same formation there. Yeah. 5890s.
But let's see if we can find a little scalp trade on BTC. We've got a nice node here, 92. It's a pity, right? We don't have a nice low on both occasions. So when you talk about a nice trade for the day, you want to see, you know, something that says, okay, this has got a better odds of playing out. And currently, we're actually starting to see quite a lot of weak structure. Look at this. So the low on the 17th was just one letter. Okay, so weak, weak, weak. Okay, and then today we have a weak low again from the open. Yes, it was value. So you could say, okay, if I go with a good low and that's 100%, because it's weak, but it's that value. Well, I still consider it 60%. So it's still good, but it's not as good as it would if it had at least 2 letters. And then you come back up again, weak, make another high, come back down, weak again. So this is all poor lows. So with that in mind, it's very much like we could use this as our stop. However, we know that that's a weak place. So we need to see this market coming down to settlement at least 92,100 to engage a long trade here. So let's be patient. And then if so, we want to see this trade all the way up to 93,500. Okay, so that would be the target. It is looking good. Yeah, it would have to be 7 minutes. Let's wait for the next candle to open and come back in to 92,200. This region here above settlement, it has to close above settlement. If it doesn't, the next candle, then it's no bueno. And then we could look for 93.5. Well, actually a little bit more than that. We could go, 94, and that would give us at least $1,800. Okay, compared to, let's go, yeah, this is it. We don't have that nice structure now. So let's be patient and wait.
Good, and that's a lot of what trading is all about, right? Just finding those opportunities and remaining patient for the execution trigger. And at MindDrip, so selling tail and buying tail basically is just a formation on the TPO chart that shows a single letter of a single row of letters that represent a 30-minute time period. And in that time period, like if you look at BTC on Igor's left screen, you can see that in the C session of the current TPO that there is a selling tail at the top. And that is just showing that the sellers came in and dominated that particular area of the price action. And then if they had left 2 letters next to each other, that would be considered a poor high. Same thing on the downside. If you have 2 letters next to each other or 3, that could be considered a poor low because there is no buying tail down there, which just shows that parties have stepped in on the other side of the market to clear out the sellers on that side. So, yep, quick question and answer there.
Yeah, nice one. Well explained. Yeah, I love looking, and as a tip, CME, and this is why I look at the CME. I look at the CME because it really has immense respect, and then you just carry over. Even if you trade on Coinbase, Bybit, whatever exchange it is, price. What does Jim Dalton say? An advertising mechanism, isn't it? It's just the auction, isn't it? It doesn't matter what price is. If it's 92,500, is it 91? It doesn't matter. And even back in the days, I used to hide all my templates. I actually used to hide the price because I wanted just to see those untested levels, which always get that nice respect. I mean, look at here this morning. I mean, you come down from the open. Obviously, this is really, really early for us, but it's nice to see that nice respect. There you go, getting the little pullback that we wanted. Let's see if we can get lower. We've got the next period opening as well. And then shortly, or in a few minutes, 1:30, we'll bring a guest in. Someone who we dearly love. Someone who's been with us for quite some time. Loves helping the community. And if you're listening, get yourself ready. Because in about 30 minutes, we'll bring you on. There you go. So here's the little pullback.
Very excited about that.
Yeah, it's good to bring people on. And well done, Scott. Wow, you are on fire. Scott is a legend. Going through the questions.
It's some great questions this point. I don't want to interrupt you because you'll be on a train of thought, right? And I'll just be doing some questions in the background. So
I'm potentially looking here for a long trade on NQ and ES. I'm just struggling to find a nice region for support. So I'm looking for a potential long between the 500 all the way to 600 here on the NQ. It's coming down to it. And also on ES and also BTC. But, live streaming, engaging, speaking, and doing all of this on stream and trying to get 3 trades on, it's quite a big ask. But let's try.
Yeah.
Let's
It's a nice fun puzzle, we're having fun. And honestly, the truth of the matter is we love this. This is we're in our element. We love trading. We love being here with you all. We love learning from your questions and getting challenged from your questions. So it's all fun and love here. And just really quick, just to cover this, Gary is asking, and someone else also asked, what is the settlement price that Igor speaks of? That the settlement is the official CME closing price for the previous day. Would you say that the same, Igor?
Yeah, that's it. I was just actually going to bring something up. Yes.
Oh, go for it.
Okay, it's a very, very important level. Okay, and if I just show you the screen here, right? So this is the CME. Okay, this is the Bitcoin futures, and here's the settlement. So every day you will get a settlement, and that is the settle. On Quantower, we actually get that settlement, and that's why I have these levels up here, because that's the settlement for the previous day. And these are very, very important references, and you can get those from the CME if you don't have Quantower. This is where you go, and you get these for any futures markets, okay? And typically that settlement will come in at the M period close. Oh, bugger, we are missing that long trade. 500. Didn't quite get there. But yeah, we're missing that trade up to 600. Let's see if we can still get it. We've got 1 minute. But yeah, here's the settlement. That's what it is, and it's very important. But yeah, it is the M period close. So here it is the settlement. So from 2 days ago, 5897-ish. Okay, so that will be the settlement. It's the cash close. Okay, and then the market continues for the post market, which is about an hour after that. Okay, looking. Giving you a lot of information there. And BTC did come down to that 92. I wanted to see a little bit deeper there. I'm going to go to a 30-second chart on BTC. Wow, we're going deeper. We are going deeper. It does look nice here, BTC. 1 minute. If we can, then we can take this long up. And this is not financial advice, but look at that NQ going up to 600 now. Bugger.
It took off without us.
Yeah.
I do like the 515 low. That actually looked pretty good. Right off the New York Open. Did it actually make a lower low on the 5-minute time frame? So holding this bullish reversion uptrend here after the sell-off overnight.
Yeah, that's nice there. That 35 was nice. Actually, when you zoom out, that's where the order was. Yeah, I missed that one. Okay, let's see. I want to see BTC. Can you see the series or lower highs here forming on BTC? Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Let's see if we can get the open of the period. I might miss a couple of trades, but if you want me to focus on BTC, let's try the chat, that is.
We got 516 votes, still 79% BTC, 6% ES, 11% NQ, and 4% gold. So it's good to know. It's really, really good to know. Thank you all for answering.
The thing with BTC is, yeah, we are, there you go. We got the candle open. We are at that nice place now that the last 3 days, it's still an inside day today, but the last 3 days has been very much like, this will be the swing high, but it doesn't look like. I mean, I would think that high is going to be revisited. The question is it going to be today? Preferably, yes, that would be nice. So just got this on a line chart to see really what the closes are. And currently we are still holding above this, which is nice. But let's see if we can get a move down to the settlement like we asked. I've set an alert there just in case I miss it. And then move it back up to previous day high. That would be the trade, because that would give us a little bit better risk reward. And I want to see like something here that tells me, okay, here's your trade. So currently we still don't have it. There you go.
Like we were talking about earlier, it's all about patience. We have just opened the B session, second 30-minute period in New York. Open within value. Right.
I looked at the chat very quickly, and someone said, I see anchored text. And all I can say is, thanks, Moondream. Legend. Yeah, I like the long on ES. I might pull the long on ES. Yeah, there you go. I'm going to go back to my screen here. And I might have to attempt this twice. But yeah, this is... it's kind of running now. It's a pity that I was a bit late on this. Talking about the chat. We did get the 25 as well. Let me see if we can get it in here. on both. I'll use a really tight stop. Just go with the momentum to the upside. Yeah, this is going to run to the 600s. I've missed it, but if you caught that one, like try and hold this a little bit higher. Let me see if I can get a little shift here. And that BTC is also going. Okay, here it comes. I'll mark it in and use like this as stop.
And we have NQ right back at the New York Open. Looking a little weak here. ES is doing the same, back at the New York Open, right around the daily POC, below the New York VWAP. So a little bit of a mixed area right here. We could go either way. Need this uptrend.
It's the VWAP. The VWAP is suppressing price down there, but we are still making high highs and high lows, and this could be the move here.
I'm just checking the news as well to see if anything pops off. In the meantime, with our macro events that we've got going on today, potential war, escalation, fears in the market about flight to safety. That's why you've seen the pop in gold, move down on indexes. People, when a war happens, people want to get out of those risky assets into those safe assets like bonds and gold, things that we know are
This is going to break down now.
Cash flow. Okay.
This is going to break down. I'm looking, but look how much time we've spent around the open. 84 on the left. BTC, that nice pullback, didn't bring lower even to VWAP. So that is nice. It's finding a little bit of strength. That low on NQ is so ugly. But that's good because it shows that there's bit support down here. So if we can come back in a bit, probably try it along and let it ride. I'm going to try it here quickly, and I'm going to use this as a stop. I might have to attempt this 2 or 3 times, but with low risk, like $100 risk. Just want to see if it goes. Then we can manage this better. Let me look at ES as well. ES is already going. Shame. Okay, we've got VWAP. There you go. So that's don't want it to come back inside. I want that low to hold. But yeah, that's a big order. I don't like to see that when I'm attempting to take an order, a long trade especially, and see a big red order there. That means they want to seek lower and potentially repair that low. So yeah, that's why I'm okay with the stop here, because if it doesn't work, it basically either works or it doesn't. It's very quiet. I miss my music.
I know. I wish we had a nice little track running in the background. Maybe we can think of something.
Okay, at this point we can move stop to 40s and just honestly call it a scratch trade. If it comes back down to our support entry. And there you go. That's another $400 currently on this. All given to you on the time. And now we can just lock, I would say 47. We need to leave a little bit of room and try and push it to those 600s. I will keep this going, and I'm going to try and see BTC now. Yeah, you know what? That's annoying because that's what I wanted, and it's just like yesterday. We actually got the back test. Pity. But now we don't have the best risk to reward. And NQ is coming back down to our stop. We got stopped out on that. But at least you're seeing all live in the action. That's what live trading is about.
Absolutely.
They might still hold here. Yeah, those market makers, they are really cooking something here. Let's take a look at the TPO. They're still in the midpoint. ES, yeah, the midpoint of the range. Let's see if they're going to take that weak low. It's support still. It might bounce again one more time. It's always hard to long into yesterday's low, a VWAP, and 200 simple moving average. But it does look like it wants to push back inside yesterday's range again, just at least one more time. And there you go, going. Yeah, I would love to have some bangers here to play, but and there you go. Here's the actual move. So they just wanted to come back down and sweep some liquidity before. If we do jump back in, we'll literally use like a 40 tick stop. Yeah, this could run. I'll go with the market order if we jump back in. If I see the structure that I want to see, and it will be like a market in. Let's see, 57 maybe. Come on. They're gonna go without me. Minutes. A little bit more. I wanted this to come one tick below 57. Oh, there you go. Oh, they're playing games. There you go. That's better. All right, let's wait now. And once they go back above that 57, we can go in. There you go. And I'll move my stop. Come on, it has to hold, otherwise they're going to go much lower. I'm going to give myself a little bit of room. Okay, $140. Come on, now go. And then we can head to those 600s. If they fail, then yeah, then I'll stay out. But we're really up on the day now today. There you go. That's exactly what I wanted to see. Price is listening. The market makers.
It's listening very closely to us.
I moved my stop too quick. Hang on. Come on, now it has to push. It can't come back inside. If it does, then it's like, meh. And there you go. So there's the back test. Should hold. Let's take a look at market profile. Not the best volume up there. Let's allow 54.
Kind of got to go now. They got to push here. This is the push spot.
Push. Let's blow.
Push. You heard us, right?
Okay, now look, there's quite
Everybody
a few
use the
sellers.
bike pump. You got to do the bike pump.
There's quite a few sellers there. No, they're coming back in.
That's all right.
Yeah, 57s again. Come on. Yeah, so 59s. I'll call it a scratch trade. There you go. I don't want to be in it. There you go. So scratched. They might come down to 57s again and hold that as a higher low. If they do, there you go. Might go in now. There you go. Oh, they didn't actually hit that 57. I just noticed that, but it's worth again. That other trade was literally scratch. 0. And do you want to talk to people about the fees on the futures?
Absolutely. Yeah. So the good thing about futures is that the commissions are quite low. So for example, one contract of NQ is worth around $420,000. And the price for entry on that is $2 for commission. And then the price for exit on that is $2 for commission. So you have $4 round trip for a relatively large position size with a lot of opportunity there. So
that's it. So that trade there was a scratch trade at $5. So I actually made 40 cents on that, just to try it. And like we've seen this go up to 300 a couple of times, but they're just really struggling. I'm going to keep my stop still at 57. That's the level, but they just fine. I mean, yes, look at ES. ES is at the low of yesterday, RTH low, and just below 200, and at the VWAP. So if it breaks, it might get really nice follow through. So let's just, okay, now 61. So there you go, $20 if it comes back down. But it's annoying. I don't really want to give anything back to the market. So let's, there you go. Scratch trade again. Oh, annoying. I'm blowing under the screen of the monitor.
Oh, thanks. That's so nice.
Right, there you go. But it's nice to get out of these positions when it's not getting that follow through. And then you wait for that nice rate. There you go. And look, we would have been now, be down $200, and we don't want to do that. Let's see if they want to retest. They're looking for that nice kind of like to get the market moving, and it's not here yet. It doesn't look like it. But yeah, you can already see those 600s being target, and that's what we were looking for. That was great risk to reward, but it's just taking a little bit too long. And when that happens, I'm like, meh, well, you're not taking anything from me. I'd rather miss out, because I participated on all of the short side earlier. But yeah, it looks like they want to have at least a big red order filled down here, meaning that the buyers are really absorbing that. But until then, let's keep waiting. There's one. Better here. Stop below the low. That would be 170 risk. It's better. We can go with the long. We've got 17 minutes. It needs to claim that 54. 57 would be better. It's like a running commentary of a football match here.
Absolutely. Now
There
below
we go.
the New York view up.
Okay, now it needs to kind of hold this level. Right, so if we can get back inside, I can use my stop here. That's $100 risk, but then we can go with that trade. So let's try.
Okay.
Target is the same, so it's a good risk to reward trade.
And what's your target on this one, by the way?
600.
Okay, there you go. You heard it here, folks.
Remember what I said, the market seeks that nice, orders being observed. Come on, push. I'm going to make this as a break-even trade.
Okay.
Just because we've spent so much time here and we're not breaking to the upside. We've got 16 minutes left as well. So I'm just going to hold it here now. So at this point, again, as you can see there, you can either lock $300 or you can call it a break-even and hold to target for the risk to reward to play out. At this point, it's nice. We're already near the highs, up nearly 300 there. Let's just keep moving, stop higher, boxing in. BTC having that little pullback still. We have the alert still at the settlement. Let's see if we still get that one too. We have someone at the door, but we will let them in a few minutes.
Okay, knock, knock. Someone's at the door. All right. Very exciting.
Come on. I mean, if this doesn't play out, then, we can just take a little break. But, you've seen there, right? All in the action. That's what we're looking for. That's the trades. We're paying attention. We're focused, calm, collected.
Yeah, just reading the price action.
There you go. So we get the break now. So we want this to push now. We spend so much time there. If it comes back inside, it's no bueno. It needs to go like ASAP. Come on, there you go. There's
like it is now. There we go. That's what we're looking for.
And now we can just box it in. 67. Oh, we love the 67s. So 70 should hold. Don't come to 67. Leave it. Leave it. Oh. Buggers.
Oh, look at
but
that.
There you go.
They're selling it off now.
But that's nice. See, that's the boxing method. You basically take your targets, take your trade, and box in as much as you can. So another one there. And yes, that is a round trip about $4 to open a quarter, no, nearly a million, half a million, isn't it? Pushes inside. So pretty good.
Yeah, a little bit of a rejection here on NQ now, forming. Yeah. Back at the view up. Okay, let's see if and come back down.
It's what I said there. We spend so much time getting to that point. The market has already now looked above and it failed, came back inside. So that 50 now is super important. If we can't hold the 50, we have not broken that high there on a session. So, we could look for a low to be broken and potentially those 492s. Okay, so it's kind of not giving us what we wanted, and it's on low volume. Let's take a look at ES. ES, it's got a weak high though, but this is the low of the day. BTC is coming back down to the settlement, not yet there. Okay, let's continue looking here. Yeah, they
big rejection on NQ. Yeah, that was the they didn't want to go any higher.
But how beautiful! But how beautiful it is where we placed our stop, because it's very much like you need to leave the market a bit of room. Okay, so I gave the market a bit of room. In other words, the SR flip, because typically if this is going to go to 600, it needs to hold that previous resistance. That previous resistance had to be support. So we gave it until 56, 57. But look, it came down to it. We made our trade up to there, that's for $100. We could have booked a little bit more, another $150. But by allowing the trade to play, typically, if it's going to stick, it will go to target. You make another 700. But because that didn't come to fruition, we got stopped. We still made money. And we would have basically given the market all the money back because this went all the way down to 55.35. And there you go. There's another run up. So this could be the lower high now.
And that's just crazy. We've had a big move down. We just cleared that whole candle. We're now back at the view up. So somebody's playing games here. They
It's
don't want to go
resisting.
higher. They don't want to go lower. Yeah, that's it. So
If we reject here now, we look for those lows there. So targets will be 25s and lower. So let's take a look. No, 5 or 7, even lower than that. That's even better. We are rejecting. But I still don't like the short. I still don't like the short. I would prefer to see 87. No, sorry. The 80. What's that on ES? Yeah, 83s. I'd prefer to see this loss, but I don't trust that high now. And I wish I could explain or elaborate a bit more, but it's so, it'll take me hours. It's like a lesson. But sometimes you can just see, there you go. So BTC, nice. Okay, so look at that. That's perfect on BTC. The pullback on BTC is perfect. So let me take a look at this side here. Let's put the candles. So that's nice. It didn't reach the settlement, but that's looking good on the TPO chart. Let's take a look at the orders. I mean, what would be the risk here? 260?
okay, back at the view up NQ. Let's see. Yes, it's trying to make a move here.
It would be nice
Retesting
if
Europe open.
yeah, it would be nice if we got the settlement. Let's be patient. Let's see if that alert still triggers. Come on, give us a trade, BTC. Yeah, ES and NQ. I'll just go over to this, and if you're trading ES and NQ, you can just see. So we have a view up here. So let me just go 0. Let's go 1 minute. So this is the 200 SMA. We also have the VWAP. So if we can break that, we go to 600 and beyond. But you can see that the past few minutes, it's been very much like just very tiny. We've attempted these, but it's just not getting that follow through. So at this point, it's very much like, just let it do its thing. We capture all of this move down. You caught this. We've already got a few trades in here, and now it's getting to the last point, which looks like it wants to push. Direction is up here, and if that's the case, then we have to look above those highs. So it's looking good, and there you go. There's the push.
Okay, a little push here. Let's see if we can get above these 75s. Last time this was an issue. It has been an area of resistance all morning. We've got some liquidity added at 75, so it would be interesting to see if we can push through this level.
It wants to push now. But yeah, I'll let that and look and the and that bias to not take the short as we were breaking down earlier because of this is really nice to see it. So we've attempted again, but it's still resistance.
Yep, we've got just about 9-10 minutes here left in the B session, so things could start getting nice here in the last 5 minutes of the session. See if we push now or reject again.
I'm going to pull up Bybit, BTC, because a lot of people are saying that the price is not the same. Don't worry about the price, okay? It will be somewhat a little bit different. So on BTC, basically do the following just for a month so that you get used to it. Have both charts split and have on the left, have your Bybit, and on the right, have your CME. And then look just at the candles and ignore the price. And then you will see what I mean. But you're going to have to spend the time. Can't teach you that. There you go. There's the settlement through. Right there. Now let's see if we get what we want.
Yes, NQ still struggling here. NQ struggling to go higher. You can tell price wants to push, but somebody's holding their finger on this sell button here.
If we do take the long here, it's looking nice. I would like to see. We've got 8 minutes. There's a couple of things happening here. One is those series of week lows. So I want to see, I mean, the best would be to actually see the close above the settlement. That's the best thing. But that is nice. I like when it comes down like this very quickly. Just keep an eye. I'm liking the structure here. And isn't that nice? Like, if someone was buying up here, you know, they really have to be a little bit more patient because price did drop to our key level, as you can see there. So that's nice. But what do we have here? We have this, this, which is not good, okay, in terms of like this being the high. We have now the retracement. We are still making higher highs and higher lows potentially, but we need that close here, and that would come in that nice candle. I like that. You can see that like pushing now, so that's nice. The little gaps. This is a 1 minute chart on the CMA. Let's go down to a 30-second and pop a line so you can see better. I would have preferred if we did go through it, but we didn't, so let's be patient once more. We already answered the question about the settlement. Take a look at the stream about 20 minutes ago. We went over that. But it's a really good level, you want to know.
Yeah, it's an amazing level. Something you should definitely be keeping an eye on if you're trading the futures. Even BTC as well and CME.
Come on. Give it to us. I mean,
every trade I've attempted here on the NQ has just been pushed back down. So
yes.
I don't think we're going up here anymore. I think we're starting to shift that direction a little bit. Prices just can't get above that 575 level.
If we reject that, it will be the the 500s below the previous day session low. It looks better. However, that ES high is not the best still. So looking up here, you've got, I mean, look at this. It's just, and I made the lines quite fixed so you can see. So 200, 50, 200, 50, 200, 50, 200, 50. It's a real battle, right? And the same on NQ. Look, NQ. So battle, and here BTC just looking a little bit better. See that settlement, it's the open, the midpoint, that's looking better. So if you do go with the long trade, I just wish we did get a little bit more downside on this, but it's looking really good. I mean, that would be the low there. So we're losing 260. I mean, we could attempt it here and target will be, you know, above that 93. So we're looking for a, you know, 4-to-1 risk to reward at least. Let's see now. When we do drop back into these 92s, if we hold 92s, 220s, NQ attempting
NQ
again.
having a nice little attempt here. Yep. See if we can break those highs now.
It's that VWAP, isn't it?
Looking,
both markets.
looking all right. Yep.
Okay, there's the pullback. I use the simple moving average. Don't use EMAs. And there you go. Now ES is giving us that poor high. Okay. So it's still kind of, and did you see how that's refraining me from taking any shorts here because I'm aware of what the market is, you know, the market profile is showing me. So it's really important that, really important, in my opinion. Looking. BTC with that pullback to 150. Okay, I missed this one. So we got 4 minutes. I might attempt the long here on BTC, but I'm not, just full disclosure, I'm not 100% on this. We didn't quite hit the settlement, and I would have preferred that to come down at least to the settlement. And unfortunately, that's going to have to be our stop. Okay, so let me just put the candles and see. We go to 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15. I do like it still. I just wish we dropped a little bit further. Come on. Let's see if we can still get it.
Yep, because watching NQ here, struggling still.
Because then we'd have that. And anyone that bought now gets stopped out. And then we come back inside and then we'll go to that high. That would be the best trade. And it's with me, it's always the same thing. It's always the risk to reward. Like I want that nice risk to reward. If I don't get it, I don't take the trade. And for me, that risk to reward would have been slightly lower because then you can really point higher and have your stop there really. Okay.
Okay, we've got just 3 minutes left here in the B session. ES has a poor high, and NQ doesn't have a great high, but it also doesn't have a poor high. So just a few minutes. Let's see what happens here in the next couple minutes. And I see some beautiful, wonderful questions. A person at the door is still waiting.
Yes,
That's right. They might be.
we've got to let him in now. So shall we do? Yeah, let's let our guest in to our inner circle here, and we might have to not focus too much. Let me see, where is he? Okay, let's allow our friend to come in, and then I'll share. We'll do a quick sound check to make sure that he can hear us, because we can already see him. Can you hear me? Let's do a quick sound check.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Aha, we can hear you. And there you go. Here's on the screen. Hello, my friend. How you doing?
Doing okay, Igor. How are you? How's everybody doing today?
I'm good. It's been magnificent. We've had a real. I mean, I caught the drop earlier. I wasn't, to be fair and full transparency, I wasn't expecting it to run as it did all the way down. But you know, you gotta let those runners run, and I just box in the price. Could have locked in a little bit more, but let it cook a little bit stronger there, and it was good. And we've locked a few trades here. The range is still struggling here, breaking this VWAP, but I think it will. But before we go anywhere with your trading and stuff, tell us a little bit about yourself. You know who you are, and go on. Let's hear it from you, the men. And you can share your screen as well if you want to go over anything. I'll let you. Yeah, you can share your screen just in case you want to share something that you've learned with us. And yeah, explain and tell us who you are.
All right. Hey, everybody. I'm Trader BB2, and I've been in Chart Champions. Let's see. Going on about 4 years now. I've learned everything I possibly did about trading from Chart Champions. And I got into trading with the last crypto bull run. And it's, you see all the YouTubers and you see everybody that's kind of shilling all these Bybits and these trading exchanges. And then you actually start trading and you realize that it's not quite as easy as it seems. So I got into it, lost a little bit of money, but then I kind of pumped the brakes and I said, all right, hey, if I'm going to do this, I really need to learn about it, and that way I can invest. And then I started doing it, and I absolutely loved it. I love the community. I love the challenge of it. I love that there's uncertainty. It's kind of like I was a professional golfer, so I know games that can't be conquered, and trading is kind of one of those games. And I felt pretty strongly about the correlation between golf and trading. And I got a young family. I got 2 boys, a girl, wife, own a family business, and I started trading full time. I stepped away from the daily operations of the family business about a year ago, and I've been trading full time almost a year now. And that's been quite the adventure, humbling, learning experience. And one thing I love about trading is that it really reveals things about yourself that maybe you weren't willing to admit, or you weren't willing to like see those own faults in yourself. But once you can kind of just eat that humble pie and get to work on what it takes to be better, it's a journey, that's for sure. And I've definitely loved every moment of it.
That is incredible, man. And I got to say, it's a pleasure and an honor having you on. We've been friends for some time now, just chatting back and forth, but it's really, really great to see your face, to hear your voice, and to hear more about your trading. I didn't know you were a golfer, my friend. So
Oh yeah,
we'll have to get together and play some golf, my buddy.
please.
Now, let me ask you this, that you said there was a comparison, maybe some overlap between golf and with trading. How did you
Can I just
approach
can I
your
just
golf
so
game?
so
Of
so
course.
two
No,
seconds
no, no, go ahead.
longed on BTC, okay? So I just took it, and it's nice to see the little move. But yeah, so we were patient, we waited for it, and we are in the trade. So and then let you go back to it. But yeah, there you go. There's the little pullback that we wanted. We got it, and we're in it. So already $300 up. So let's see if we can let this cook
Beautiful.
up. Okay, back to you, boys.
See, we're just multitasking here, fam. We've got a lot of irons in the fire. But my question was really BB2. Do you've seen some overlap maybe between your golf game and your trading game? Do you see also the psychological aspects there? Like when you're in golf, maybe you need that self-confidence. You really need to be able to visualize the shot you're going to hit. Do you see the same kind of vibe in trading, like where your psychology can actually affect or impact the way you're taking entries, the way you're approaching shots or trades?
Yeah, for sure. So it's actually kind of the opposite. Trading actually taught me a lot about my golf game.
Love
Um,
that.
it, before I had pretty high expectations of myself on the golf course. I played in college and was a pretty good player. And um, one thing that I learned about trading is like we kind of live in this world where we think things are black and white and there's certainties and there's like kind of these absolutes. And one thing you learn in trading, it doesn't matter how good your analysis is. It doesn't matter how certain you are, how strong your convictions are that the market's going to do something. This is a this These charts and what we see here it's dynamic, and there's thousands of players involved, maybe millions of players involved. And if we kind of approach it from a certainty perspective, we are going to get absolutely destroyed. And
Oh,
that's
yeah.
kind of the way it's set up. If we can think in terms of probabilities, I know Severin is the master of stats, and he kind of really opened everyone's eyes, I think, to how he approaches the charts and how he views everything from a statistical perspective. I'm not as much like that, but I have definitely learned, and I've become more like that because at the end of the day, if it's you either have an edge, everyone gets this like the word edge and get excited about it, and all it really is the chance of something else happening over the other. And it's if you want to stack things in your favor, and you do that over a series of trades versus one trade, I think we kind of have our own mentality of this trade is going to be the thing that it's going to make my career, make my week. And yeah, maybe, right? Maybe it does. But more than likely, it's a series of trades that probability is going to trade. It's going to play out. So
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
Same thing with golf. If you set up for a par three shot and you could see your line to the hole, you never know if it's going to be that hole in one. You never know if it's going to be that birdie, but you take the shot nonetheless, and you try to use your best mechanics and everything. So I love that, man. And honestly, big shout out to BB2, man. You have been someone in the community who really taken note of, someone who's a leader in the community, shares your own ideas, not afraid to be different. Absolutely appreciate you, and so happy you're able to join us. And huge shout out to Severin as well, the master of
Oh yes,
statistics, our man, our good friend. Yeah, so wonderful.
brilliant.
All
And
right,
we
Igor,
want
how's the BTC? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, okay, yeah, I can. Let's have a look.
I was just gonna
I was
say maybe we could see the BTC.
I'm just trying to really multitask here. I've got a ton of questions,
I
but yeah,
know.
as you guys were speaking, I just went over to my screen. At this point, it's very much like if it comes back below, I would say 350, we want to be out of the trade because it's clearly not playing out. And don't forget those kind of like series of weak lows, but we want to see this now hold and really start to push. So anyone that was trying to short early, we want to see them obviously thinking to themselves, this looks good, I'm going to have to buy back that short position. And then that buyback is could be a market order and then could start pushing price high. So for now, we don't have that just as of yet. But let's leave a little bit of room on this. So in other words, a break-even trade if we do come back down to 200s. But we want to see the this break here hold. So higher high, like break, higher high, higher low, higher high, and then we want to see it hold. It can come down, but it has to go back in and then continue business to the upside. If it comes back below that, I would say 400, then it's like, it tried, it failed, and we want to be out, and says, okay, well, I'll get the next train or the next bus, and that's the mentality. But at least the risk has been, set. Initially we're looking for at least those 93s, which is much higher. And there you go. So here you can see, so that held, the higher highs and higher lows. So you could, if you are in nearly $500 profit, you can move your stop to that 550 and say, you know what, if it comes back below, then it potentially could go all the way down. So I've locked, let's say 350, and there's your nice trade. So it's boxing in that trade. So that's BTC trade. But back to you, BB2. I mean, legend, you have been with us for so long. And to me, it's very much like, what was that pivot? Like, the turning point, because it can be overwhelming, the amount of lessons, people to follow, who to listen to, the coaches, there's so many strategies, and it's very much like in trading, it's not one size fits all. There's you could be using A, B, C, but someone could be D, F, G, like being components. For you, what was it like that really opened your eye and says, you know what, this is starting to click? And talk us about that.
That's a great question, Igor. I was one of the fortunate ones that was able to have some lessons with you a couple of years ago.
Oh, I don't do those anymore.
I know,
too busy.
But it was awesome. But there's one thing that many things I learned from those, but one thing that really stood out, because as we were having the lesson, like there are things as you're talking to someone that's incredibly competent in something and kind of lives and breathes the markets, such as yourself.
Thank you.
And you're kind of explaining things, and it's like, to me, I'm like, wow, like I don't understand what you're saying.
like now when we were waiting for the settlement, I wanted to see this. We didn't have that 5 seconds, a few minutes back, and I wanted to see that. And I did see a comment saying you could let us know. I did. I did let you all know. Anyway, I digress. Come back.
No worries. And you had said something about you had some lessons with Daniel a long time ago, and he obviously used to do those. And he said, sometime what I said in this is just going to click. And you're like, okay, well, I don't see that. Like, I don't know if I'm dumb here or whatever it is, but why is this not clicking for me? And then it doesn't necessarily just like click in. It's kind of like an absorption, and you're getting this picture of how the markets work as a whole, right? So you have all these different components, from fundamentals, from technicals, to institutional traders, to retail traders, to the psychology of trading, and you learn more and more, and you read books, and you read about people that have been successful, and you learn incredible things within the Chart Champions community, and you start to build this picture, and you start to build almost your own identity as a trader. And man, I would love to tell everybody that's on here, like it's a quick process, and you can get it in a couple months and be super successful. And I would honestly say, like, that's pretty unrealistic. You can absolutely improve, and you can be well on your way and learn in an exponential form. But the actual learning itself, it takes time. What do they say? Experts say mastery is something like 10,000 hours.
Yep.
And you're assuming those 10,000 hours though are correct, right? Like you're focusing on the correct things. If you're working on some obscure indicator technique that's somebody's shilling on YouTube that has no idea about how to trade, they're just trying to sell something, that's you could spend 10,000 hours, but that's not really going to make much of a difference. But I can certainly attest to the Chart Champions community and just the quality of the information, just the quality of the coaches and all the people that are inside there. It's a group of like-minded people that are supportive, and there's no question too basic for anyone to answer. I've never seen someone make someone feel silly for asking something. Yeah.
That's amazing, man. And
So I'm not, but I'd love to show you something. I'm keeping it pretty simple on here.
please, please, we'd love to see it.
All right. Do I click the three little buttons or do? All right.
On the
I'm
bottom
looking
part,
for it. Where's it at, guys?
bottom of the Zoom screen, bottom right, little green arrow. Or you can also
Bottom.
do Alt
There it is.
S. Yeah, there you go.
Let's make sure I'm collecting the right screen.
Yeah, beautiful dog, by the way. Gorgeous.
He
Just
has a
having a good time, checking out the
he has a
plants.
he has a tough life, you know.
I know.
I'm
He's
back.
my buddy. He goes everywhere with me. So
Cool.
yeah, let me see. I just see if I can make this a little bit wider here.
I think Igor might be muted, by the way.
Was
Let's see.
was.
Okay, cool.
All right. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so here's a pretty interesting thing. I've been primarily trading ES here lately, and NQ is great, but I feel like ES has been the volatility has been really good. You get these movements. It's it's a lot more liquid market, and you don't see these. It's just like these wicks upon wicks of like hunting for more liquidity, as you can see, like super fast movements. Um, but I was doing a poll and I wanted to keep things really simple. If you guys see on here, these lines, these are like previous day value areas, and when the line extends like this, these are untapped areas. Kind of pretty simple.
Yep.
But one of my favorite things to look at is supply and demand zones at like key areas. Like yesterday when we had New York and we had dropped down into this zone and we could never go above this. So what this supply and demand box is telling us up here is like, hey, there's somebody, a really big player for now, that is they're absorbing all of the market buys with limit shorts. So this is a very key area on our charts today for sure. But what I did is I did a .25, which is something you learn inside the Chart Champions community, and I did one from the overnight high, which is a supply and demand zone, to this pretty good sized sell off just before open, and you have your overnight low there. So I did a 0.25 from overnight high, which is to the overnight low, and this blue line right here is the 50 SMA on the 30 minute. So the 50 SMA on the 30 minute is, if you've ever run stats, anybody that has, you would definitely know that that's definitely something to keep an eye on, especially for ES. NQ respects it as well. But what I'm
I think
looking
we
at
have a
here is,
lesson on that, don't we?
yeah, we sure do. All right, so right now you can see is we're rejecting off of that, and I have my Attis in the background, but I just wanted to show from the simplicity of the trading view is you're starting to see the rejection off the 50 SMA, which also happens to be the 0.75, which is very well respected on a nice established range. And you're seeing that. So if we were to reject right off of here on the 30-minute time frame, you can go down here and you would look to potentially to an extension on the other side of the range. Now, if I kind of take this backwards, sorry if it gets kind of small, but
Yeah,
if
we
you
can see it really
guys,
well.
okay, if you guys see this area right here, this was a pretty unique spot from a market's perspective because this breakout of this consolidation range right here was fueled by the U.S. elections, and that's the futures market is ripe with speculation. But this was a pretty key supply and demand area right here, and when price broke out of this, it has not retested it yet. Now, as the coaches will tell you inside the community, like anything that goes up very quickly, and especially in the overnight hours, such as Asia, and everything's considered overnight. No offense to my English friends, but the U.S. is where the big time volume is. But anyway, I digress in saying like I have a little magnet on my chart here because I would at least like to see this supply and demand area where the consolidation and the breakout of the U.S. election night happened, and I've been keeping my eyes there quite a bit. And as you can see, there's not a lot of support that's been built up in this area, and if we are to lose this area or start losing the overnight low, I would expect a pretty quick drop down to the 5,800 area to at least to test this supply and demand zone. And whether we continue with a lower high after that or start breaking out and going to all-time highs, kind of like a touch and go, and see if we get continuation, or if we lose this level on a 30-minute, then a 4-hour, then a daily, we start closing below that, and we'd be like, man, maybe maybe that was kind of like a false breakout over the course of a little over a week and a half, 2 weeks. So.
Brilliant.
I love that, my friend. I actually have the same alert set right around 5,800 before the 11.5. Remember the 5th of November from that pump. That is the origin of this big move up to new all-time highs. So I think it's very, very, very important that if we retest that it's held to see higher prices. And if we lose that, that's a big sign that this market is not looking to go up anymore, and that we'll probably move into a bigger sort of mean reversion correction move that we've already been forming over the last couple of weeks.
That is brilliant.
For sure.
And as you were talking, I did point it out the remarks I have here on ES, and it's very much the same, similar. And I do mention the Trump rally down there or the gap. So 522, obviously just before we get there. I love your TA there, and you can tell you've put an immense amount of work into it. But it's very much like, there's quite a few things in that chart. But if you're a champion, you'll look at that chart and you understand pretty much all of it, right? You've got the market profile, you've got the daily range value as well. So it is easy to understand. And for a newer trader, they'll be like, oh, wow, there's a lot going on. But you just know, right, what you're looking. I find that really, really, really nice. Honestly, really good to have you on. We have about 2 minutes if you want to give us some final thoughts there on anything about us or the upcoming Black Friday, or tell us, you got 2 minutes. Take it away.
Absolutely. One little nugget I want to drop here before I do my little
nuggets.
plug.
Go.
If you guys see this is an anchored VWAP. Now, I've been experimenting and running some statistics, and I'm not going to reveal what those are, but I've been running different contract anchored VWAPs, and they're pretty unique. So I might recommend some of my chart champions peers to throw those on your chart and start running some statistics for yourself. But if you guys, to those of you who are not members of the Chart Champions community, if you have any interest in trading, I would definitely give Chart Champions a shot. And at the Black Friday sale, just take advantage of it. I mean, at the very least, you're going to learn things about yourself and about other people and about how markets move. And hopefully, with your own lives and own investments, you'll at least have knowledge of it. And you never know; it could be something that could spark a big interest and a passion in you that you don't even know. For me, I was looking to do something different with my career, something that I could be really passionate about, and I found trading, and it helped me in more ways than I could probably divulge in these 2 minutes. But I'm so appreciative for my fellow members and coaches Igor, Scott, Daniel, Severin. It's been a journey, and even though it's been almost 4 years, I truly feel like I'm just getting started. So thank you guys.
Love it. I've got one question. First is
Sure.
Targets for BTC. Come on.
Me?
What's your target? Go on. As in like higher time frame. Give us a number. Just a fun one. And then I have another one.
People aren't gonna like this. So
Okay.
I think 100K has been on everybody's radar forever. But I kind of have this contrarian viewpoint on the markets. And if you look back to previous all-time highs in any market, sometimes you'll see a new all-time high being made to drive buyers' interest. And those can be bigger players trying to fill much larger positions. So I couldn't give an immediate one, but I mean we're we've gone up pretty good, and there's nothing saying that that's bearish. But from my own perspective, like I I mean, I don't think I'd buy at 100K. How about that? Would that be a good thing?
Love it. I love how you
Yep.
put the big players in there, and that just shows maturity. And my second question is, would you join us any other day for actually some live trading? Would you be willing to come on with us another set?
Absolutely. I'd love to.
Good stuff. All right. Well, from my side then, honestly, thank you for joining us. We've got a few more minutes that we'll go through the questions and back to trading. But yeah, now thank you for joining us. And yeah, I'll see you in the chat as always. You're always there with us. Yeah, give it up for him and smash those likes, and we'll bring like-minded individuals from the group, from our community, to come and share their views and do some live trading with us. And yeah, thank you, mate. And yeah, I'll let Scott say a couple of words, and then we'll go back to trading.
I just wanted to say a huge thank you to you, BB2, for stopping by, sharing some of your insights, sharing some of your passion with us. I think it really comes through on the screen that you love trading and that you have a skill at this and you found your edge. And I really just enjoy looking at your technical analysis because you're always looking at different stuff than everybody else. You always have a different idea, different picture in your head of what could happen. And I've seen it play out over and over again over the years. So I just wanted to say a huge thank you for stopping by. Smash the likes for BB2. We'll have to have you back, my friend. It has been an honor and a pleasure, truly. So thank you so much.
Yeah, the honor's all mine, guys. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you, mate.
Cheers.
All
Right.
cheers.
Talk to you soon.
Now, back
bye-bye.
back to the trading, right? So we did see the BTC come all the way down to that settlement price, and you can see the line there. That was the low. So when we were looking for the level to come and tap it, you can see that above we didn't have kind of a touch. And this is why, again, this is just a nugget that a lot of people will probably not understand, but some of the champions have already caught up to it, which is nice, because it's like, they want to give and spoon feed everybody, but you want them to think outside the box and go, well, why is he using a line? But you can see the closes down there for the level, and that means it's been properly touched on there. So hint hint, golden nugget drop there. And we saw that as BB2 was coming online, right on there at the half a minute mark, exactly again as the market opens that next session. It's just like ting ting tick check, just check and it's brilliant. So yeah, so now we're cooking that trade. I will, just for the sake of going over the questions, move my stop now higher just to lock as much as I can on this one. But now let's look at the questions. So Scott, take it away.
Absolutely. Well, Vicky Leo has asked us, can we bring on some guests who trade BTC? Absolutely. We're looking at that. And we do have a mix of traders in our community. It's not just BTC traders. Majority do trade BTC, and that's how they found the markets. Some have switched over to futures, looking at more of a cash flow thing as crypto has decreased in volatility. Now that the volatility is back in crypto, we're happy to focus more and more on that. So appreciate that update. Where can I see the Black Friday sale and what dates will it be active? So it starts today, my friend, and then I believe it goes to Black Friday. So that's the 29th Friday. And the link is in the chat, and I can go ahead and post that again for you, Austin. Just give me a moment. Austin. And everyone, I'm just putting that link in the chat now. So if you want to look at it, it's right there. All right. Igor, a question for you. Do you guys talk about brokers and chart champions? Is there anyone on IBKR? If you can say something here on live stream, it would be amazing. Yeah, so just maybe what broker are you using? Have you used any other brokers, and which one do you recommend?
Right, so it depends where you are. And there are so many, but I can highly recommend AMP futures. They're really, really good. So you've got Optimus futures as well. They are also very good. If you want to trade stocks as well, you've got like forex.com. That's broadly available, pretty much global, worldwide. When you sign up, for example, with Optimus futures, you've got a list of clearing firms. And depending on which one you choose, you will have more pairs to trade. So you should do a bit of research into the actual pairs you want to be trading, because it might mean that you might sign up for that company, but they don't offer the asset you want. So you just always make a little investigation, talk to the people at the company to see if they, indeed yeah, Iron Bean, for example, just saw that. So yeah, just make sure you ask the properly, questions, so that when you do open an account and fund it, you've got the everything ready to go. And the platform I use is Quantower, as you can see there. And I've just moved my stop on BTC to this low here. You saw that there, I think, on my previous screen. So if it comes back below those 700, I want to be out of this trade and lock that profit.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Love that. And just to add a little note to that, I'm also using AMP futures, and I've tried out a bunch of these trading firms. I've tried IBKR, I've tried Iron Beam, I've tried Awanda, I've tried Forex.com, and I would say out of all of those, probably the best and the quickest to get paid, the quickest like same day wire transfer if you're taking profits, that would be AMP futures for me. And maybe some of the other ones are comparable as well, but I've just had a really good experience on them, so I would recommend that as well.
Yeah, AMP futures is good. Awanda, I didn't like Awanda. I preferred Forex.com.
Yeah, I didn't stay there long. I just wanted to try it out. I wanted to have a couple different brokers to see, hey, what was working well, what was good on mobile. And yeah, AMP futures you can't really access on mobile, but I will say this: if you get the connection with CQG, the futures data feed from CQG, they do have a really nice app that you can use to manage positions from your mobile. So. All right.
Good.
Connor is asking, can we have Mupf as a guest? Well, that is up to Mupf, my friend. Maybe we can talk to him, but I've spoken with him and I'm not sure he's ready for that right now, but maybe in the future, we would love to have him on. He's more than welcome anytime. He's such a great trader. It would be great to have him on too. All right.
It's nice to see yes did break the 600 into the point of control.
Yes, and that move off of the previous week's low, that was one of my trade setups from my trading plan, and it has moved almost, let's see, not almost 1,000 ticks off that low. So the previous week's low has been defended, but we'll have to see if we can make a new high here, or else this is just going to be another lower high in the range. So
brilliant.
And looking for some more questions here.
Yeah, it is nice to see the run up. Yeah, on NQ as well, breaking the high and going straight to the 600s, 20,600 and beyond now, obviously. So that's looking really juicy.
And I see lots of people took that BTC trade with us here. Shout out to Igor, great trade set up there.
Yeah. That's what we do. And just another day in the office, but this one is obviously live for you all. And I can tell you, I've been live trading now in the community for what, 2 years? 2 years? Three, maybe. I think.
I think so. Maybe 2.5.
Yeah, and it is hard. It is hard to live trade and stream, and because there's just so much stuff going on. So you really, and like for people that don't do that, honestly, it's super hard because your attention span goes from like reading the chart, because when you take a trade, there's just so much that goes into it that you need your whole with that chart and that focus, and having like the chat go, a guest or just whatever. It can be quite hard, but yeah, I think we've done a good job of going over price action. Give us a W if you did make some paper money on because
W's in the chat.
We need to put that in there. I completely forget. But do let us know. Give us a W and smash those likes.
And I did have a couple more questions here. One for me, one for you. A question for me from Max. I have seen in previous live streams that you write down trades in a notebook. Can you tell us how you do it and what it does for you? Absolutely. So I have a few key things that I try to write down so that when I'm reviewing my trades at the end of the day, it's easier to remember. I do also screen record my trades so I can watch them back at a rate of like 5 times the speed and actually see where I'm putting my stop, how I'm moving the trade, how I'm managing things, where I'm entering. Did I enter late? Did I enter early? But the things that I actually write down, and I'll show you this. I'm not sure if you can see it because it might be blurred out. Yeah, it's blurred out. But what I actually have is just a couple different things for each trade. Which account was it? So I can keep track of which account is which. What was the key level? And I write that down. For example, on this first trade, it was the New York Open plus the PD low. I also have the setup that would be correlated with the setups and my playbooks that I have in my trading journal. And that setup for this trade was a reclaim and also jumping on the trend. I have the risk written down. So how much risk was it per trade? This trade was 87.5 risk. And then I have notes underneath. So I can write notes about, okay, did I move my stop to break even? Was it a good trade? Was it with the trend? Was it good trade management? And those are kind of all metrics that I'm looking at for each trade to sort of grade the trade, 1 star to 5 star. And at the end of the day, when I'm reviewing my trades, it's really, really helpful just to have that little basic bit of information. Also, under my notes, I'm writing down psychological thoughts, like I feel sweaty here, or doesn't feel like it's going my direction, or I want to move my stop lower and I don't, because I know that's not the right risk management move. So it's good to just get all that out on paper. And a lot of times it's chicken scratch, but most of the time I'm able to decipher it and take that into my trading journal. So thank you for that question. Really nice.
I love the sweating. And I've always said, like, when you start to sweat, that's typically when it's a good trade.
Sometimes I'll just have in my journal, it'll say sweaty.
Yeah, I love seeing those W's coming in. So well done, you guys.
Yeah,
Congratulations all. Yours. Yeah, nice one.
And a question for you, Igor, if you're available.
Go.
Same as you asked Trader BB2. What are your high time frame targets for BTC long term?
Oh, good question. Back at you, eh?
Aye.
Oi. I don't have a target to the upside, I'm afraid. I'm just a level to level trader. That's a lie. I don't know. I mean, BTC, it's one of those that, look, we have broken out of this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months range, right? So we broke out, and this is just half a month breaking out. We have a gap actually on this profile. We need more data now. We need another couple of months to see, okay, is this going to be sustained? Are we actually going to hold that month up there and come back down, retest, or are we just going to continue building value up? And I think the key and the answer to all of that lies on this chart, which is the ARK, which is the spot ETF. I think this is what's going to, focus on this basically, and, treat this just as a simple, 5-minute chart, like I've been saying. And you've got 105,000, 7,000 as target for now. But that's just using local structure with closes. If you use obviously, like a little bit lower on the actual highs and lows, it's very similar. So yeah, I would say, I know a lot of people are looking at 100K. It would be nice to tap 100K, but I feel like if we do get to 100K, everybody's going to short 100K. I actually feel like if we do get to 100K, I think we're going to just break through straight through 100K. And that's just like, the 20K break, traders will short, but that's just as fuel. So anything with a pullback down to 73K, it's still a long-term sort of like uptrend. And for that, there's nothing else or better than just a simple kind of channel. That would be the midpoint, and you can even go a little bit lower and it's still kind of like making those higher highs and higher lows. This is long term. This is a daily chart on the ETF. So if you think about investments, this is the inception, this is the low, $38, this is the high. We spend a lot of time here. We back test at 50K, just like on BTC. We break out of it. We want to see it sustain now. We want to see price at least stay above this and just continue going higher. And eventually another 10 years go by, you want to see this just trading whatever. So, but we need to see this leg down and the hold, and this could take years, if not, could take a long time. So I wouldn't worry too much about what's the target. I would worry much about, okay, how can I come in here every day and replace my 9 to 5? Just focus on that, and then the rest will come. So, find a trade, take the trade, and then look at the next one. And then this, just treat as an investment. But also, yeah, there's, little money to be taken out of these markets. And it's still going, that BTC trade. Let's see if we can now move the stop down to the next 92,800 and break the high at 93,150. And basically what we're doing here is just boxing in. So every time it makes a low, we then shift our stop up. So instead of locking it now, and we lock all of that, we could expose ourselves to, a little bit less money, but we could get a runner and go up to that high, and we're out of a poor high now. One thing to note is that we could go all the way down to 92,500 and it's still a good buy, which will be around our stop. But at this point, I'm happy to call it. And I hope that's clear.
Yeah, very clear. Thank you so much.
So
And,
no
we have a couple more.
targets, level to level, and sky is the limit. It's blue sky. There's no levels.
Yeah, it's price discovery. It's going to be irrational one way or the other. It's going to go to an irrational high price and can come back down to an irrational low price. Then it'll find some fair value in between and we'll range there for a couple more years and then we'll do it all over again. As you all know, BTC loves its cycles and we're hot in one right now. And November seems to be a big month for all-time highs. I remember November 2021 was also the all-time high last time. So very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we do have time for a couple more questions, and then we
Two
go.
more and wrap up. Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, this is a good question, and I just lost it. Okay, from Elliot Waves Cam. Top 3 indicators that help your trading. What would you say are your top 3 indicators that help your trading, Igor?
Not for me so much anymore, but I can tell you a couple of tools that will really, really help you. Okay, and I'm going to share my screen for that. And I'm going to go to the highs and lows. Right, so this one here will absolutely transform your trading. So this is a simple indicator, okay, that is just pointing out or marking on your chart the daily high and the daily low. And this is great. Let me go use BTC. I know you guys like BTC, and I like this to see me. And this is great to follow a trend or to follow a market and to really see, okay, who's got the upper hand. When you come into the market each day, are you shorting or are you buying? Buying. Do you want to be a buyer or a seller? Where is the market moving? Where's the highest probability trade? Like, if it's breaking the blue line above price every day, each day upon day, well, clearly, if you're looking for shorts, those shorts, you're always going to be sweating, like Scott was saying earlier, because the market is not going down, it's actually going up. So you want to just look at that, and that is going to simplify your trading so much better. And this is great. Actually, this is great on a euro and Great British Pound, gold, and it's just very clean, these markets, and you could sometimes get on a trade and a trend and go for quite some time. Gold earlier, we took a look at that. Let's have a look at Nvidia, for example. It is maybe not so much Nvidia, but where was gold? Main list, red list, BTC still flirting with that level. There you go. So it is very clear and clean to see, okay, who's got the upper hand. And then when you see 1 there, 2, 3 very close together, just carry this forward and know, okay, that 2,760, that's a very important level. Why? Because there's so many traders that were shorting that same level. So when the market comes up there, 2 things. 1, you could feel a massive short. Or 2, if you flip that level, you can then get that nice continuation. So this is very, very important just to find liquidity, to find the structure. And typically the market, where was silver the other day? Silver did in the there you go. Look at silver. Silver is making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. And then here you can see it breaks this high. And you're thinking, okay, well, up to now, this market has been going down. You can see it. Down, 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 like a step ladder. And then this day, let's say you were short. You took a short and you got stopped out. I was like, that's a bit weird. I've been making money for the past 3 weeks. And then you say, okay, well, it's shifting. Okay. And it comes down. Look at that. It takes the low again. But this is the signal. This is that sign of strength. The market has shown a sign of strength here by breaking a previous day high. And then that market needs another thing now. So to really go through all of these levels to the upside, it needs that liquidity. So it will go below the low again, down here, to just clean everybody out and their mother, as well as a round psychological level, which is the 30. So you have the 30 here. So let's clean everybody below that 30 level, clean the stops. We've already showed some interest here, and then get going. But it's the back test. Look, by having these lines here, you can see that back test is so beautiful. Look at that. So you've got the back test of that day, which is very important because this is the day that the market structure here was broken. So that day becomes very important. You want to carry it forward. And I think all the champions are going to say, I know what he's going to do now. He's going to do a smiley face. Because that's what it looks like. There's your smiley face. And it basically looks like this. And it's just that shift being shifted from bearish to bullish with these clues in between. Okay, and that is amazing. And then you get this kind of like smiley face down here where you've got the smile and the face, and then you just make this market go from a downtrend, which is lower lows and lower highs, to an uptrend, which is higher highs and higher lows. So this is really just simple market structured basics. Like there's honestly nothing much better, in my opinion, to look at market structure than this. It's the previous day high and the previous day low. Where are we today? So on silver, that's the high and that's the low. We are above the high. We have not taken the low. Even if this market comes all the way back down to, let's say $30 and 95, it's still nice. It's actually the other day high. So it's just a simple tool. And the second tool is exactly what I had just there. It's this. It's called a .25, and it's not a fib. It's not a fib pool. I use the fib because it just prints the top, the midpoint, the .25, and the 75. And it basically, I look at this as my risk management tool. So this is where I do my risk. So for example, let's look at we're on silver. Let's look at silver. So let's say you want to take a long trade. Well, if you want to take a long trade, let's find the low. So there's a low. There's the current high of this swing. Well, if you want to take a long trade, anything above $30.68 is not good value. Okay, so because your stop is going to have to be quite below. So the best risk reward trade on this would be right, and look at that. What a lineup actually. So this will be the best risk reward trade. You want to see price come down to that level, do what it needs to do here, sweep some stops, go back below, and then claim. And then you buy. You buy and you aim for that high because you want to see this hold. Okay, so that will give you the best risk to reward trade. Let's set an alert, and when it gets there, let's all look for a long trade. No financial advice. And when, using the tool, when you get to the other side, a lot of traders get excited and they'll be buying up here. But because you bought a very good risk to reward trade, when you get to the other side, you're going to say, hang on a minute, I'm already on that nice trade. And now I have a different trade. Obviously, you're not going to be taking this short, but this then becomes the opposite trade in terms of risk to reward. Now you want to be taking them profits. And that's why sometimes you get that nice pullback. There you go. Those are the two tools that can really help you as a trader. And I hope
amazing.
People listen.
No, that was fantastic. Lots of golden nugget drops in there. So really, really, really key. Yeah, awesome.
And BTC looks like it wants to go sweep that low there, stop us out, or just go now. Go. Anyway, I think from my side, that's going to be, that's the daily high and low. And I think I made that one because I can't remember why, but yeah, I did that one. I did quite a few actually. But yeah, those two are mainly the good ones. And you can see BTC still lingering. I mean, look, just on BTC, for example, I mean, you can use this on the weekly or whatever, but it's typically, look here. So it on BTC is a little bit different, but this was all kind of like given through anyway. But look at BTC. You have, the market on a downtrend. You have the shift here. You then go clean the stops. Look, it's just, honestly, it's just always very similar. Always. Like, it's just the same thing. And then obviously you start the uptrend. It's honestly just look at those. It's very, very kind of like simple, in my opinion. But yeah, that's BTC on that 60K back test. That was incredible. And I think that's it from my side.
Right. I was going to say that is I think a good stopping point. And of course, we'll be back tomorrow with more live trading. I believe we're doing the power hour stream tomorrow, so that will be in the afternoon instead. And also just wanted to say that don't forget about our Black Friday sale. We do have that sale going on for Chart Champions. It's not something we do often at all, something we may not even do in the future. So definitely take advantage of it now. At least you've seen it and you've heard about it. And I think from my side, that will be pretty much it for today.
Yep, same here. Thank you very much for everybody to be here today. It's been a fun one. Yeah, I will see you guys on the next one. Don't forget the Black Friday deal. Severin will be here tomorrow with a live. No, actually, we're all here tomorrow. Is it Wednesday? Power hour?
I think so.
I think so, yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have Power Hour tomorrow. So yeah, we'll see you all tomorrow for Power Hour, and then on Thursday you'll have Severin. That's right, and then on Friday we'll be back here again. So it's live streams galore. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this one, and yeah, we'll see you on the next one. From my side, thank you. Stay safe. That BTC trade is still playing ball. Let's see if we can. Let's see if we can break this current high here at 93,100. And look, it's 93,110 on the CME. On the Bybit pair, it's 92,635. So forget about the price. Just look at the structure, okay? Right. I hope you really understand that. So forget price, structure. Forget price, structure. Forget price, structure. So when you're looking between them two, that's it. Can't get simpler than that. Forget price here, structure. What is the structure? Okay, that is it. Thank you very much. Have a great day, and thank you.
Thank you so much. Cheers, and have a wonderful day. See you tomorrow.